overs, I maneuver with the bag, baby, never feeling stress. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow, Joe chasing the check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these overs, I maneuver with the bag, baby, never feeling stress. Car moving through these overs, I maneuver with the bag, baby, never feeling stress.
Renegade, 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 renegade.
They call a podcast Poppy. Kinkos, I see they tryna copy. Diamonds in the chains, bust down wrists. And you ain't never seen no like this. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop, whole game in the chokehold.
I be out on a late night, opposite a play fight. See sign break night, this break night. My wristwatch is like a brake light. And you can get it right on your gravesite. So tell me something I don't know. $50 pizza when I'm eating in Soho. I heard that you in love with the stuff in your in them. They hate me, they hate me. What should I do? Keep getting money. It's funny, I was just like you. Super Bowl Sunday with the facts. Security guard told Kevin Hart to relax. Oh!
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Buffalo Bills. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Fighting him off. Over the middle, he's got Treadwell. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Cousins. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's the now 30-year-old running back, LaShawn McCoy. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Allen looks to throw on 2nd down. Going to drop this off to McCoy. Complete. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
No. Check. Patriot. All right, now, look at 56.
They'll try and run for it with McCoy. And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that. If you...
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Sheldon Richardson busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. On play action, Allen. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Dancing to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Well, there were defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd down, Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Cousins to his tight end, Rudolph, for a Viking 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And all the way down to the 26. Cousins finding Diggs on a big one, and even 40 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuck that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Now here's Johnson. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Allen throwing on second down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. He's going to air one out. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. A first update now out of Jacksonville. And the Jags, they're out to an early lead there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
1st down. Here's Cousins. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. Cousins now from the 50. Flushed out right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed, to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Off the play fake, Cousins. Lets it fly for Treadwell. That's caught inside the 20. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Partner, when it's a goal-to-go situation, if you're on the field on defense, you have to know that you may be called on to make a tackle at any time. Here, the cornerback does exactly that. Plays a run really well and makes a big play.
Being chased out left. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Third and goal for Cousins. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Oh, this is blocked. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I know it's easy to kind of shrug off a blocked extra point, but this game is shaping up to be a tight one. The second half, this could prove crucial.
Yeah, we might look back on this one. We'll have to wait and see. The Bills getting set to go. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Over the middle, that's caught by McLeod. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10.
Lucky 56.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And he'll check this one down to McCoy. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, a 22.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
Allen to throw once more. And his throw here's incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner. And usually he's able to use his body and catch the football, but a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
The Bills on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And again, it's Allen. Left side here, caught by Clay. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. Cousins and the Vikings. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play.
Let's go.
But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Cousins now on second down. Eluding the pressure right. Room here to run. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
The Vikings on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Play action now. Cousins rolling to his left. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Carry here for Orleans Darkwa. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll keep it on the ground with McCoy this time. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
Yeah, baby.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
All right, now, look at 56. Look at...
On first down, Allen. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Allen will try again on 2nd down. And some room to maneuver. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
This
right,
offense finding its legs now.
56.
Here's another 1st and 10. Allen now on first down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Everson Griffin in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Detroit! Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Allen off the play fake. Able to complete this one to McLeod. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. The Bills on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. Throwing now is Allen. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. The All-Pro corner Xavier Rhodes there to knock that one away. The Bills send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And now out comes Minnesota. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. All right, Coach, thank you. And we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for. And take it. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On the run, Darkwa. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Bills on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now flags will come in. One of the Bills got going a little early. So that'll back them up 5. Well, that's a tough, costly penalty because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19. Detroit.
Here's Allen to throw it. And he's got his man. It's the tight end play. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now a first down carry here for McCoy. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Charles, I think sometimes maybe we take LaShawn McCoy for granted. Been in the league since 2009. He's played 12 or more games every season as a running back. 30 years old this year. What do you see for his future?
I still see a very bright future for him, and you're exactly right. We do kind of take him for granted. Remember, he was with Philadelphia. Then he goes to Buffalo. Buffalo goes through the playoff drought before last season. And the Eagles, they win a Super Bowl without him. So, yeah, we forget just how special he is. But I do think with his running style, he's got many more seasons left. Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
On 2nd down, here's Allen. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. On play action, Allen. For Notre Dame man Equinemius St. Brown, that is touchdown number 1 in his NFL career, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
All up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Cousins looking deep downfield. It's caught inside the 25. And he is down deep into Buffalo territory. Cousins finding Diggs on a big one, 48 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. They run it again with Cook. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll be 3rd down. A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, You see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here come the Bills. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
No, check. Patriot! Patriot!
Allen looks to throw on 2nd down. He's got a man complete. It's Clay. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Bills on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw, it's Allen. It's caught. Jones. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Allen. Going for the deep ball. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And a solid run down inside the 30. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
On 3rd down, here's McCoy. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, partner, that's one of the problems when you sell out to stop the run on 3rd and short. Sometimes you break that initial wall and you go a long way.
So how do you prevent it?
That's tough to do. That really is tough to do. And one of the things offenses like to do nowadays in practice, you know, they do a lot of working against equal numbers. They'll start putting more and more numbers on defense and just telling the offensive guys, figure it out. Learn how to block it. We may see this situation.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Now Allen. Man open right side, it's the tight end Clay. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. Cleveland now on 3rd and goal. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's been a good one so far, just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for a 4th quarter lead. And Hauschka's kick is good. And the Bills have taken the lead here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And he'll weave his way up, all the way up, a few yards shy of midfield.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. Cousins on 1st down. Going deep for Diggs. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Cook following the penalty. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Here's Cousins. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
That'll be taken in the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
McCoy. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They'll go again to McCoy. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
They go play action here on 1st down. Over the middle, that's caught by McLeod. He had a great, strong move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
So the shotgun snap to Allen. And Jones has it over the middle. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, 26 yards. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Now Darkwa. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. On the tackle, it's Trey Waynes.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's McCoy. And able to work his way down to the 16. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides.
3-19!
Again, it's McCoy. And he will have the 1st down before he's tackled at the 12. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big 3rd down conversion.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the 4th quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't they?
Now Allen is going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And Hauschka's kick is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they managed the clock exactly right.
Kirk Cousins with 4 game-winning drives as a member of the Redskins a year ago. He's got a 1st and 10 here. He's back to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards on the play, and it'll make it second down. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one, because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. This remains a 1-point game. The defense did their job. Now the offense here late, they just need to kind of hold on, seal this victory.
And the defense did it so well, didn't they? Didn't allow any points and got the ball back for their offense in order to close out this game. What a great feeling for both sides of the ball.
It'll be a better feeling if the offense can just seal this thing. We'll see if they can do it.
You trying to say the defense doesn't want to go back out there again?
That's correct.
Okay.
Second and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. They go now to McCoy. He's seen a ton of action this afternoon. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game.
Detroit! Detroit!
Back to throw. Allen. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Everson Griffin in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. A pressure spot now for a guy who's been here before, and that's Stephen Hauschka. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And Hauschka's kick is good. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now, because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And now out comes Minnesota. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, we saw a close game that kept us on the edge of our seats down to that final whistle. And right before that final whistle, defense with one last exclamation mark there, getting the sack to end it.
I love how you phrased it, because we were waiting to see what would happen.